Good morning guys, and what's up? It is your girl Ashley. I know it's been a minute since I actually posted a video on here. I will get into details about that. Today's video is actually going to be a 11-month update on my Freeform Locs, and if you stay towards the end of the video, please do. There is a life update. There's been a lot going on these past 2 weeks. Let's dive in. So guys, my hair, it actually looks a lot different than the last time I did an update video. I just took a shower, so it is wet, and you can see the wetness kind of adds a little length to it, because when my hair is dry, it shrinks up quite a bit. But yeah, so this is what it looks like, a little scraggly over here, but for the most part, it's been growing pretty healthy. I've been also kind of keeping track on my Instagram, so if you don't follow my Instagram, it's right here. Go follow that. I post a lot on my Instagram. I do flow with me videos every Friday. I post a yoga kind of flow video and other posts, I guess, but I'm on my story a lot. I like to do lives and stuff like that. So if you don't see me on YouTube, I'm probably on Instagram. Here we go. I'm just taking a quick preview. So this one, I have to say, is like the world record longest hair. Like, what is this? It's just been doing its thing this whole time. You can see it's congled. And so it's not like it's just a stray hair. It's literally keeps congling and keeps growing all on its own. It doesn't attach to any of, like, you know, these other locks that are kind of over here. It's just been growing. Oh, and by the way, I did get an undercut 2 weeks ago. My hair, the top will grow. I guess the back, it grows, but here's my undercut. You gotta make sure you oil when you got bare scalp, you know, so it's not dry. It's so funny, like, when people are like, did you get a haircut? I'm like, what do you mean? Oh, yeah, I did. Because I'm like, I never see it because I'm always wearing my hair in like top knots and whatever. Actually last week I did a ACV wash, so got a little bit of the gunk, the funk out of my hair, you know. Yeah. Comment down below if you notice anything different. It's been pretty good. I'm gonna do a year video next month, so I'm gonna be planning that, and it's gonna be like a really cool montage video, so look out for that. I finally graduated to scrunchies, so I went to Target like maybe a week ago. Everything's been a week ago, guys. I've been so busy. I went to Target and I just picked up some scrunchies. So I'm gonna show you what my hair looks like wearing like top knots with scrunchies now. So I only wind it around once. Here we go. I just like to pull all of the hair to the front. I usually do this in a mirror because I can't tell what the heck's going on. I grab it like this, and it's a little tight here. You just start feeding the hair through the scrunchie until you have a desired ponytail on the top of your head. And this is usually what ends up happening. Is grab all of that hair, even this one, and kind of just push it back up there, and then you kind of have, wow, a top knot. So this is how I'll wear it. Yeah, I graduated to scrunchies about a week ago because I noticed that just the regular hair ties, they were getting super stretched, and I was afraid if I pull it too hard it would snap on me. So I'm using scrunchies now, and it kind of look cute even without a mirror. You just gotta be careful of the back, because sometimes the hairs in the back, they won't be in the scrunchie. One of you guys actually was messaging me that my hair in the front is actually longer than the back, and I realized that. I'm like, why is it only the front growing and not the back of my hair? Like, what's the deal? Like, it's getting all the same love. But I'm not complaining. I do like, well, the reason I actually I got a half cut thing like this is because I didn't want to worry about the back of my hair. So it's probably a little bit harder for those stray hairs in the back to congle. I guess I do maybe focus more on the front, who knows, of my hair, or front of my head, and that's why those hairs grow a little bit better, a little bit thicker, but it's all good. It's all good. It's gonna be in a ponytail anyway. This is how I plan to wear my hair. I want to grow my locks as long as I can until they start getting in the way of my teaching, like yoga or like Reiki stuff. Then I eventually will probably start to trim it, but I still want to keep a good length with it. But for now, these are my locks. Yeah. Okay, so life update. Where do I start? So you guys know that I teach yoga, and I would say I'm pretty spiritual. I'm not on a spectrum. I don't want to compare or put labels out there, but if you guys are familiar with the chakras, I'm really into the chakras. Your root chakra is between your legs, basically, and that has to do with financial stability, having a house and a place to stay, you know, shelter, and peace of mind, a lot of stuff like that. I'm trying to think of it. It develops when you're a kid, and sometimes when you're an adult you can have like issues with your root chakra, like financial hiccups and stuff can come about, but that's just like basically the overview of what the root chakra is. So the color is red, just for reference if you do want to look up and research chakras after this video. So Carrie and I, we've been trying to move. So we've been trying to move closer towards like where we work and where I teach and stuff. And right now it's like a 20-minute drive there, 20-minute drive back, and it's just a lot of gas and it's a lot of miles. So we were looking at apartments closer over there, and just not having that not financial stability, but I'm very thankful I can say I have financial stability, but not having shelter or guaranteed shelter can really scare you. And this apartment that we're currently in is going through new management, and so we haven't really been able to get in contact with the manager, and we're just like, well, our lease is up at the end of this month. Do we pay? I haven't seen anybody. How do you renew? You know what I mean? And so that's why we were looking at other apartments, and I feel like we ran into like some discrimination. So I'm a freelance contractor. I teach on my own. I make my own schedule. I basically set my own pay and like how many hours I'm willing to work a week. And over the past 3 years, I've worked my butt off, and I actually make a good amount of money. And so we are in the city right now. We are looking to move towards kind of like the suburb area. And so when you're in the city, they usually ask on the apartment application, do they ask in the apartment? I don't remember, but it's just like, do you make 2 times the income basically? And I'm like, oh, that's easy. Yes, we do. And when you start moving towards the suburbs, it can get more expensive because you're not in the city where everything's kind of convenient. That's my perception of it. So we moved, or we didn't move, but like we were looking towards the more suburb, like nicer areas, and they're like, well, we need 3 times the income. I'm like, well, that's good. We can make that, you know, easy peasy. And Carrie and I, we have really good credit. We pay everything on time, and we actually, it was a white neighborhood. And so we went over there and we went to do our application, and it was just one thing after another, and it was just really stressful. The people kind of made us have to jump through hoops just to get the application started. And when we finally finished the application on the apartment that we toured, we get a notification, oh, somebody's already renting that one out. Why is it on the website? Why can you even click on that apartment to go apply for it? And so we call the person, the leasing agent person, and they're like, well, there's another apartment that you can submit an application form. So we're like, okay, well, we'll just put the application towards that. And then I get a call back, and the guy's just like, well, you guys don't meet the requirements. I'm like, what are the requirements? You're gonna need a cosigner that makes at least $6,000 a month on their own. I make good money, but $6,000 on your own? This apartment, let me tell you, was only $1,000 a month. We qualified for 3 times the amount and then some. So why wouldn't you trust us to be able to pay this rent? You know what I mean? So the thing I feel like we ran into is because I'm a freelance person and I don't have actual pay stubs and stuff like that. So I ended up filing a complaint for discrimination. So that's kind of being handled. That was like actually a huge stress because I was in love with the apartment. It was 2 minutes from the gym by car. But since getting to be summertime, I really wanted to get a bike, and then I would just bike to the gym and then let Carrie, because we share a car, Carrie could take the car to his job. It would have been so perfect. And when the dude calls me and tells me that, I'm like, well, can we just put a bigger deposit down? He's like, no, you need a guarantee. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, from a business aspect, if somebody offered me more money, like, why wouldn't you take the more money? You know what I mean? Anyway, so that's like the one thing that like really threw me off was in the past, because we're young, and our first apartment, we put a bigger deposit down so we could get our credit started. It wasn't the best apartment, but just to get credit started. That was the whole point of our very first apartment, if you've been watching since then. And now that we have history, I'm like, renter's history is just, it was weird. Anyway, that's one major thing that's been like throwing me off. So I'm pretty sure at this point, filming this video, we're gonna be here another year. We're just gonna stack up money, and I do wanna get a house next year. Fingers crossed, putting that into the universe, I will be getting a house because we do wanna have a kid next year, and we don't wanna be living in an apartment, having other neighbors, being too loud from the baby crying, you know, just other things you gotta have or think about into consideration when you want to have a kid. Making sure that they have the best life, basically. So that was one issue. And I've been working with my Reiki clients and sharing kind of the same wounds. And I don't want to say I'm an empath. I don't want to say I've been taking their energy with me. But when I do energy work, it seems like it may actually happen just for a little bit, and then I get really emotional for a little while, and then it goes away. But it's just, on top of that, dealing with other people's stress and trying to let go of other people's problems, you know what I mean? Like being this energy healer, essentially this guide helping people, it's hard to kind of separate that. And because I take my job so seriously, I think about my clients, I love my clients so much, and I really feel for them, and I try to do the best I can, whether it be yoga, a little bit of counseling, or Reiki. So that kind of had me a little sad, and not like, ooh, I want to film something, you know? And I don't want to be like a sad channel or anything, but I just want to keep it real. Like, just like any YouTuber, just like anybody in life, you go through these ebbs where you feel really creative, and then there's those moments when you're like, okay, I'm kind of in a slump, and I need to just step back and observe, where do I want my channel to go, or where do I want my life to go, kind of from a non-YouTube aspect of it. And really sitting with yourself. I feel like those are the two main things. And then, well, when something like big like the apartment thing happens, it's just like, for myself, I feel like I just kind of shut down, and I don't want to be creative. I don't want to like put myself out there as much. I kind of close myself off, and I just need to wait for things to pass one by one. So I've been planning a huge workshop, and that's been stressful, on top of trying to find a place to stay, on top of trying to be there for my clients. You know, it's a lot to just sit with every day. Yeah, so that's been my life update. We're gonna stay here for another year. I'm happy, guys, don't worry. I'm very happy at this moment. I'm content with how things are going, and I just know God, the universe, whatever you believe in, it's always directing that I can't even talk, that divine path. Yeah, so it's my little YouTube video today. I hope it answered any of you guys' questions or of your concerns, and I'm gonna leave this on a positive note. Like, comment, and subscribe. Comment down below your favorite color. All right, I'll see you guys in my next video.